Hey guys, welcome to a very special Table Talk. We have a special guest today, Miss Jessica Chobot.
Hi. Oh, thank you guys.
Thank you for coming.
No, my pleasure. Especially now that there's free ice cream.
I know, right?
I was like, well, it's really cool to come before, but now, yes, I will be here whenever you need.
Awesome.
Free ice cream day indeed.
Yeah, we got a Ben & Jerry's truck pulled over in front of the building, and so we got some ice cream for this episode as well.
All I know is they don't do this at Nerdist. I'm not doing something.
But you know what? Now we have two sweet treats on the show today.
Isn't he a charmer?
All right. So you guys know how the show works. We use the hashtag Table Talk on Twitter, or you can go to the subreddit on SourceFed on Reddit. And does that make sense? Then you could...
Reddit.com/r/SourceFed.
Yeah, you can get your stuff in the bowl.
And get your stuff in the bowl. That's exactly correct. So
it works.
it's E3 Table Talk time. So we've got Jessica here as our special guest, and we asked you guys either specific tweets for Jessica or about video games for E3 in general, and that's what we put in the bowl. So that's from you guys. Jessica, as our guest, do you want to pick the first one?
I would love to.
I think you should.
I'm so excited. I feel like I'm both going to win and possibly lose something
Well,
at the same time.
I think we all win and lose on every Table Talk.
Should I read my own question or should I hand it off? Okay.
Yeah, read it, please.
So Connor McPeak said, what game are you most excited for at the upcoming E3 and what's the game that you're dreading the most? Most game? That's like a hard question because there's multiple games that I'm excited for. Mass Effect 4 if they're showing it, for sure.
Right.
The Order is one. Destiny I want to see. Evolve they're having there. I've already played it. It's really fun and good.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good one. The Evil Within.
Yeah, I'm so...
That's the one I'm dreading the most.
Oh, that's the one I'm like, yes, back. I need to get back into the horror
You love
stuff.
that scary stuff.
I do. I really do. I really do.
That's awesome.
It doesn't make you have nightmares at night?
No, I'm kind of weird in the sense that, let's say unique. I'm really unique in the sense that I really dig mystery. Like, I don't necessarily believe in all of it, but I love the stories behind it. So things like mysteries, conspiracy theories, ghosts, haunted houses, demon stuff, witches.
Ooh, you're
all
in the
that
right
jazz.
place.
Yeah, that is totally what I'm into. I mean, I was gonna say that's my jam, but that's the name of my ice cream, actually. I was like, that's cheesy.
That's my jam.
But that's kind of what I go for, and I never really get scared. The only thing that I've noticed that's changed since recently for me about that stuff is that I used to be able to read stories about murder and families being destroyed and like kids getting hurt and stuff and be fine with it, totally fine, just brush it off like, oh well, shit happens, it's life. Can't do that anymore after I had the baby. It's like,
now that you have a baby,
I was watching Game of Thrones and there's this one scene, I'm not gonna give away spoilers, but there's a scene with the little infant and I was like, oh my god, like total breakdown, couldn't handle it, was so pissed off for the rest of the night. Barely finished the episode.
Oh no!
My wife is very much into those stories, like the ones you can read about where like the serial killers.
Yeah, I love serial killers. I mean, I don't love them, but I love them.
Sure, of course. And
I love serial killers.
Yeah, we don't have any kids, so, and...
Only the sign is wood.
You gotta knock on that sign.
Oh.
There you go.
All right, so yeah,
not real wood.
But yeah, I feel like I wonder if we ever have kids, if that will end for her as well.
I was surprised. It changed my mentality for that stuff. So now that kind of thing freaks me out, and I have a hard time with it. But everything else is fair game. So
Ooh,
yeah,
all of that.
If you're like above 10. I don't care.
Do you remember? I love that.
Actually, that's
your
horrible.
10th birthday,
and you're thrown into the purge.
Well, I feel like you hit double digits, you're pretty good to go. But no, we should move it up to like, let's do like you hit 15 maybe.
You gotta learn sometime, all right?
Sansa's 15,
there you
right?
go.
And they get
Good
screwed
point.
over. So at that point, I feel like, hey.
So you're into the horror games and stuff. Do you remember a game called Nocturne?
That sounds familiar.
I don't remember
the game. My big thing was Seventh Guest.
Seventh Guest, 11th Hour. Did you play 11th Hour too?
I didn't play 11th Hour. Oddly enough, Myst terrified me.
Really?
But in a really good way. Not that it was like scary, like pop out at you, demons are coming, boo.
Yeah.
But more just like, I'm in this, what is going on?
Yeah.
Why is this
No
place
idea.
abandoned?
No,
Like,
Myst freaked me out too. I agree.
it's just nervous. Nervousness.
Yeah.
Really? I'm scared of everything,
Well,
and Myst didn't scare me.
But in Myst, you're like walking through alone in like the wilderness and stuff. And I remember there was a Myst on the Xbox I can't remember which one it was, but it might have been on PC. I'm sure it was on PC also. But I played
I
it
know
on
they
Xbox.
took Myst and Riven and ported those all over.
Right? Okay,
yeah.
so it must have been a port then. But there was one where like you could go into the jungles and there's like these native monkeys and like things like that. I remember they looked kind of creepy to me, so that kind of creeped me out a little
Actually,
bit.
we've gone completely off on a tangent, but fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it.
There is a Myst app in the App Store. I think only for iPhone, possibly iOS.
Possibly Android.
Android, yeah. Where you can play the whole game over again, and it's absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
I think it is just iOS. I don't believe it's Android. I know, as a lonely Android, I lose out on things.
Drew's doing the tears.
I can't play Hearthstone
Tiny
right
violin.
now either. No, I have a Samsung Galaxy Note tablet. Yeah. I have no iOS devices.
Oh, you're iOS?
Possibly limiting, huh?
You're an iOS?
I'm a both. I've had numerous Samsungs and I've loved them.
Okay.
And I've had various iPhones and the latest iPad, and I love that too. I think the thing that I gravitate more in regards to the Apple products is just because at this point I have so many Apple products in my home and they're so easily integrated. And
the ecosystem.
I do have to say that they're the way that they kind of keep an eye on their app store to make sure that you're not getting any backdoor viruses.
Oh, they're in charge of all of it, yeah.
I love that. I had with my I love being able to customize all of my Android devices kind of however I wanted to do it, but oftentimes because I'm not a programmer, I have to go through other outlets and just hope that there wasn't something screwed up on there. And then my shit would start crashing. And so it's this, it's like a little back and forth. There's good to bad to both, but for me, with the variety, the ease of use, and just because I'm lazy and don't feel like learning any better, Apple products are
It just works. Why are you
minus
looking at me with your...
minus the Beats headphones, because I think that shit be dumb.
The Beats by Dre? Oh, yeah.
Dre, yeah. Sound guys.
Well, any audio person will cringe at the sound of Beats by Dre.
No, I think Jessica summed it up nicely. If you don't want to customize all over and do all that kind of stuff, and you just want it to work, Apple's a great way to go. However, if you want to play with your devices and schmooze them all around, go Android.
Yeah. And both, hey, listen, both make the phone call, both text well.
Yeah.
Nobody,
they will do what they're meant to do.
The Android phones have beautiful screens, though. That's the one thing that I think compared to
hardware
iPhone,
is lovely.
Those screens are just, I like a decent sized screen because I use my stuff for
so
much video now.
Yeah.
Mobile video that to me the slightly large, plus maybe it's a girl thing, but you toss it in your purse. If it's too small, you can never find it. By that time you missed your call or the text. If it's big enough, you can just grab it, go da la la la.
I like the bigger ones because usually you can fit a lot more beefy batteries in there. Like your specs are just usually.
Oh my god, you know how many comments we're gonna have now because you're like, I like the bigger ones because you got a beefy battery.
I have to say, I make accidental sex jokes all the time.
It's almost impossible not to.
It really
I do
is.
it too. Yeah, completely.
I'm very excited about the Alien game. I forgot what it's called.
Oh yeah.
Alien Legacy or
no, it starts with an I.
Immersion.
No.
Fuck.
Drew, you gotta help us.
Drew.
I avoid alien games because aliens scare me.
That's the one where it's basically this, but with aliens.
Right.
Isolation.
I kept trying to say immolation, and I'm like, nope, that was just in the prompter yesterday. That's why I keep thinking immolation.
No, I'm stoked about that one. That's the one I'm going straight for.
That looks really, really good.
I hope it's good because none of the other alien games. Oh, Dragon Age. Yeah, I think the other one, I really want to play Evil Within. It looks so gloriously Capcom to me, though. Like, the main...
Hatsune Miku Divas.
Right? Okay, so now, can we drop names? But the main bad guy in it is so, like, Resident Evil.
Yeah.
And so, like, but it looks great. I remember seeing... Did you see stuff for it at last E3?
No, so last E3, I was there exclusively for Microsoft, and I was assigned certain titles to see, but we shot all day.
And that's all you
So that's all I got to see.
Okay. Wow, so you
thing-
kind of had the opposite of us. We didn't get to see any Microsoft.
We didn't see any Microsoft.
Yeah.
I mean, all the stuff I saw last year was good. It's just that I didn't... It's been a long time since I've been able to just kind of wander the show floor and get a little bit of everything.
Sure.
And this is the first year, I mean, I still have work assignments that I need to take care of, but for the most part, I feel like I have a little bit more freedom and I'll be able to kind of get a lay of the land.
That's
and
exciting.
So I'm really excited because this is going to be the first E3 in a long time where I think I'm gonna have some fun.
Well, I think you earned it.
Yeah.
I think you earned it.
You know, and I the only person that's excited for Sims 4?
Yeah.
What's the one civilization? Yeah, well, I like Sims 4. Or Sims. And I would also look forward to Sims. It's really cold in the time.
No, I totally get it.
You reminded me of Civilization Beyond.
Oh,
Is it Beyond Earth?
I don't know, Drew.
Everything's fine.
Drew's our nerd.
I know it's a sci-fi civilization.
Yeah, I think it's
nerd fact checker.
Civilization Beyond...
Beyond Earth, yeah.
Beyond Earth?
I thought immediately, I was like, oh, Civilization Beyond Earth, so it's going to be like turn-based StarCraft.
Well, because it's another the Civilization series.
It's going to be, it's a spiritual successor to Alpha Centauri.
Oh.
Which was post-Earth civilization.
Right. Because the Civilization games were all like...
All gone.
Yeah, well, there are people who will get it. It's all right. So, Trisha, you said what you were looking forward to and what you're not looking forward to?
Oh, yeah. I am the opposite of everyone else at this table. And I am not looking forward to Evil Within because I would not like to poop my pants at E3. And I am looking forward to Sims 4.
But this is what I want to say about the Evil Within. Like, I saw some stuff last year that was, like, gory as fuck. Like,
yes, I saw that too. It was so disgusting.
I got to play a little bit at Bethesda's Judges Day. It's pretty gross.
Right?
It's pretty gross.
Like, I've never seen such
gross
graphics. Yeah, it's been a while since I played a game that gross.
Yeah, there's a couple incidents that were just like, are you
I know, right?
Oh.
Not since the South Park game have we all been like,
well,
when you control an abortion.
At least in Stick of Truth, it was cartoonized gross. I'm
That's
okay
true.
with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Jessica, I would love for you to carry on a tradition for all table talkers to try and hit the lens with the paper that you pulled out. It's such a strange tradition.
You don't have to flick. You can
don't
talk
worry about it. No
Okay.
pressure.
I
Yeah,
thought it was
no
like
pressure.
A flick.
No,
okay.
no.
If you want to flick.
Not bad.
It's all right. You get more than one shot.
Well,
It's
I
okay.
don't think anybody's gonna get it right because the paper's pretty
Joe
light.
gets it all the time.
Joe gets it all the
Really?
time. I've gotten it like maybe twice.
I've gotten it like
100.
twice, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Garvin Edwards says, if you could live in a video game universe and be your own main character, which 3 would you choose and why?
How about which one would you choose?
3 universes.
Yeah, because one is already a
Which
lot.
universe 3?
I would say, well, I can give 3. I would say I'm torn between Mass Effect because it's space and it's awesome, and I'd love to live in a I guess sort of civilized space society.
Sure.
Okay.
Any kind of thing in regards to Dragon Age or Skyrim, just because it's the cool, awesome
It's
fantasy.
terrifying though. Dragons and monsters and things that'll kill you and people are after you.
Yeah, but that's every game.
That's kind of a bummer. But
Except I was gonna say I want to go and live in the Grim Fandango world because that's the world where like you're already dead, so you don't have to worry about dying again. Although people did get sprouted in that game, so maybe you have to worry about that. But
for my moment of Zen location, I'd probably pick Flower.
Oh yeah,
Just like
man.
you've had it with the dragons. You just need to sit back and relax. You
Chill out time.
Or like Mario Sunshine. I want to live in the Mario Sunshine world.
Actually, all the Mario worlds, minus the impending cute dude.
Bowser.
Right.
Yeah, would be great. Oh, I'm an idiot. Legend of Zelda.
Oh yeah.
Kokiri Forest. There we go. I'll take that.
That's good.
So nice.
Well, but still scary things. I think I would live in an awful game, but the concept was very cool, so the world is probably great. I would live in Epic Mickey.
Oh, that's adorable.
I love the way you said it. Epic Mickey.
Epic Mickey. Because you have one paintbrush to create and one paint thinner brush to destroy.
Sure, and it's in
Make
Disney
your
World.
whole universe. Well, it's in a really twisted Disney World, but I could paint it to be a nice one.
Ha!
You hit it!
Ha!
I feel like it hit above the lens. We'll have to replay this and check.
I don't know if it was above it. It's definitely more to the side.
But it definitely hit the lens.
Boom! Oh my god! This is 'cause you're here. I think it's because you're here.
I'm saying a maybe. I don't want to be a party pooper, but I'm saying a maybe.
We'll watch the playback.
Okay.
We'll see who'll have egg on their face when we watch the playback.
You know what? Go and play back. I'll go get you another free helping of Ben
I know,
and Jerry's.
right? I was thinking
If
seriously.
you're right.
I'm done.
Can we please-
You guys both got the jam one, right?
Yeah.
No, I got the fish one.
Oh.
I don't want to run back really quick. You want to run back? Really
I got salted caramel, and there were these like magnificent, moist yet crunchy things in there.
All right, let's go run and grab one more really quick.
Should we just hang out?
This happens sometimes.
You guys
Are we all going?
I mean, am I supposed to?
Isn't it gonna just be an empty table then?
I'll break free. What do you guys want?
I mean, it could.
Jam! Should we just keep reading?
We could
questions?
totally do
You could
that.
bring
Alright.
4, you jerk.
Oh, you can have mine.
Okay,
I think I'll
going.
manage.
Ooh, okay. Gavin O'Flynn asks, and this is using hashtag Chobot3TT.
Damn.
Or Chobot3 Table Talk, love it. Do you think we will see an Uncharted 4 trailer at E3?
I don't know. I want to say yes. I don't know, one, because I don't work there.
How many E3s have you been to?
2006 on.
Okay. Wow.
So what is that?
8 years?
It's about 8 years,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm guessing they might be dropping a teaser trailer.
Okay.
But a teaser trailer, probably that's it.
That's not a series that I play, so I haven't been following the rumors
love
on it. Do you?
that series, yes.
What do you love about it? Should I play it?
Good. 2 and 3 were great. A lot of people were like, 3's not as good as 2, but I
Okay.
thought 3 was a solid follow-up to 2, and I really liked it. It's Tomb Raider with a dude, which is fine for me. I love exploring things. I love checking out the unique graphics and the worlds and solving the puzzles, and it was just a really fun bit of gameplay. In fact, the thing that I always think about when I'm talking about Uncharted is, one, the opening scene for Uncharted 2, where you're on the train and you're finally getting your bearings, and it was like the first time that Uncharted really slapped you in the face. And then in 3, when you're up against the pirates in the ocean scene and the storm comes in and you're like, holy shit balls, that water looks amazing. And you're like,
Yep.
and those two moments, I think, just really do a great job of capturing like the essence of those titles.
So
and
if
then
I was
the
gonna
voice
start-
acting's fantastic too.
If I was going to start the series, should I start it too?
You wouldn't. I feel like you wouldn't be missing much if you started at 2. I feel like
Okay.
you could pick up 2 and really get the whole like heart of the game. It's so funny. Uncharted 2 and 3 are my father's favorite games.
Really?
He's not a huge gamer, but he does dabble in
I was
it.
just going to say that you come from a gamer family.
He'd be the only one. We had gotten him a PlayStation 3 for his birthday, and I was like, "You really gotta play these games," and he did, and he's played them each one he's played twice. He loves them. Loves them. Yeah.
I can't get my dad on anything beyond like Buck Hunter.
Oh, dude, his other big one is flight simulators
Really?
and then sniper games. He likes sniper games.
Here comes Steve with ice cream.
Yes.
That's hilarious to me that your dad's in all that. That's awesome.
So every once in a while, my dad will text me and he'll be like, "Do you know when you're gonna be getting?"
Do you want jam?
I wanted
Okay,
jam.
that's jam, and then
Thank
this is
you.
the chocolate fish
Keep
one.
on eating this. But yeah, every once in a while I'll get a text from my dad. In fact, I'm trying
Thanks,
to
Steve.
convince my.
Oh, Drew, you didn't ask for one.
This ice cream is so
Go run. You
good.
can leave the camera running, can't you? You should hurry.
We're focused. It's running.
We'll just finish quick, I promise. What was the last topic?
We're talking about Uncharted 4.
Uncharted, yeah.
Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
Very good. Did you play Last of Us?
I started playing Last of Us. Not to always use the baby as an excuse, but to use the baby as an excuse. He was he was really super little then, so I only had a very limited amount of time. So it was a choice between
The baby's sleeping. Last of Us.
BioShock Infinite or Last of Us.
Oh, okay.
So I
You
went
made
with BioShock Infinite.
By the way, were you disappointed? Well, you can't really answer that because you didn't play Last of Us. But Last of Us got Game of the Year, didn't it?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, and I really wanted BioShock Infinite too because Last
Which
of
is
Us.
hilarious because you play Last of Us
Well,
more
multiplayer.
than you eat, I think.
Yeah, I love multiplayer Last of Us. It's a lot of fun, especially when you get a lot of good friends to play. But BioShock Last of Us is like, okay, the zombie, it's kind of like, even though they're not technically zombies, it's like the whole zombie thing has been done to the ground, basically. We've got a million fucking zombie invasion games, a million fucking survival games. And here comes BioShock Infinite, which is essentially like a fucking brand new story. Not connected quite to the other BioShock games, but still it is, technically. But it's a completely original concept with like really smart, well thought out themes. And the ending is mind blowing. And yet it didn't like get Game of the Year. For some reason, the one that's like the tried and true genre won over the like original good, awesome story.
Well, you know, because I haven't, I say this very cautiously. While I didn't play it, I've been around a lot of people that have played it and have overheard a lot of discussions about it. So my comments are going to be in regards to the people that made these comments.
I'm curious.
And it seems to them that the hype train, while very, very good, very good, that the hype train kind of ran on that one, and at some point, reviewers and the media were too frightened to say no. And on top of the fact that Naughty Dog had been knocking them out of the park lately, nobody wants to sit there and piss off the big guy on campus.
Sure, okay, yeah.
That being said, I do feel, as much as I loved BioShock Infinite, and that is the one I did finish, there were some issues there that, definitely held it back. While the story was very good, it was a little convoluted at times.
Okay, I'll give you that.
The gameplay was solid, but it was kind of the repetitive gameplay you've had from the previous ones. But, I feel like at that point it's kind of... It's so hard for me to judge games now or review I've got personal opinions, but I never like to give professional opinions about them in that sense of the word, because now that I've written the game and I've seen what goes on behind the scenes and how a really awesome idea can get shit on because of a million...
There's no way to please everybody.
Things. Wow, not even just pleasing people, just like you're dealing with your publisher and they've got certain requirements that they want. You're dealing with your budget and there's certain requirements there. You're dealing with the people that are building it. Do they understand what they're doing? How many other projects are they working on? there's a gazillion things that can just start whittling away at your project.
That you see being on the other side.
Yeah, maybe a lot of people don't see that.
And nobody, your average consumer doesn't even your average game reviewer, having been on both sides now, even just the short amount of time that I had in regards to writing the game, they don't get it. There's so many people that it's a company, it's a business, you're reporting to people, and if one person doesn't agree with it and you think it's really awesome, if he's your boss, you're fucked. And that's just the way that it goes, So,
it kind of sounds that way in a lot of places.
It's just work. That's
kind of what it is.
Yeah.
That's
but
work.
It makes you...
That's adulthood, and that's work.
Yeah, it makes you really empathize with the other side, though, than coming from a reviewer perspective. You're less likely to tear stuff apart when you understand all the different things that go into it. And for those of you who don't know, Jessica wrote Daylight, which we're playing right now.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it yet.
So Daylight, just really quickly... Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scratch you.
How dare you?
I know.
And you didn't scratch me, so I'm a little upset about that. There it is.
Daylight's, we approached Daylight originally, and we kind of relatively stuck with it. It was when the quickie horror games through indie developers were really big, so you'd have a lot of things like Amnesia was really good.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Really hitting it hard. Slender Man was the latest big thing, and people's YouTube scare reaction videos.
Right.
And so that was always the goal. We wanted to make something like that. So when we first started, we were a team of 6 people, me being one of the 6. So five actual developers and me as the writer. And so how it came about was Jared Gerritsen and I, who are friends, we were just hanging out and talking. He mentioned he wanted to do a horror genre game like this. I said I love that kind of stuff. And so I wrote up a treatment. He presented it to Zombie Studios. They agreed, and so we started working on it.
That's great.
Yeah, and everything went really well. And then we got a publisher, and it still went well. But then, then we got more cooks in the kitchen. So it became a little bit more... How do you say it? It just became... You were just thrown into the deep end of the pool right out the gate.
Sure.
It was one thing for me to write something that was going to be a quickie little indie hit that I was doing for fun. Quite another that now I'm answering, and Zombie is answering to our publisher. And so there was a lot of stuff that we wanted to do that we couldn't. But for the most part, and a lot of the story ended up having to get cut in order to fit the budget.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so, but at the end of the day, even though we got kind of ripped apart by the reviewers.
Oh, man. You jerks.
Yeah. The YouTube and Twitch audience really liked it.
Oh, great.
Because
great.
It was...
And those are the real people, right?
Those are the people you were going for in the first place.
Exactly. And so those were the ones that we were really happy, enjoyed the game, and are really happy that are enjoying the game. And it makes... While I definitely... So the one review I thought hit it pretty accurately was actually the IGN review. Okay. I thought they could have been a lot maybe sensitive about presenting their reviews, but the things that they had complaints about were completely legit and things that we knew, were issues, but we just couldn't fix them. And that being said, however, I think that despite that, the thing that really makes the game fun is it's really well made for those YouTube and Twitch audience. Streaming, it's a great streaming game. It's a great, reaction shot game.
Which is what we were setting out for.
Which was kind of what we were setting out for.
Cool.
We could have made it a little deeper. The script was definitely there. But with what we ended up having to work with, it was pretty much where it was.
Well, I've only played through about, 45 minutes or so because of the way that we're shooting it right now. But the story was new to me. Mm-hmm. I have to say, I was going into it oh, yeah, it's going to be okay, not what I thought. And then you go a little further and that's new. In a good way.
Yeah, I had been you could make a web series out of it. I had written tons of trophies you could potentially find.
Oh, great.
Grimoire pages, all this other stuff that we just didn't have time to build.
Sure.
So, a lot of that stuff, even though the content was there, it's not just the content, because you're not only...
Yeah.
So, here's a great example of not really knowing what it takes until you're behind the scenes. It's not just a matter of... so I got let me start over. So I get one of the rough builds for notes. I'm playing through it, I'm leaving notes, and one of my notes, this is just an example, one of my notes is that the font on the found item notes looks too generic compared to the actual graphic image of the paper, in the sense that the paper was weathered and old, but the font is just kind of sitting on top of it, standard
look like
type.
It's
not part of the paper. So me, being a writer and not a developer or a graphic designer or any of that stuff, or coder or what have you, that was one of my notes, and saying, I really just don't like the way that this looks. The response, which was oh man, but completely understandable, was that because it is a piece of paper that is actually a graphic, you'd have to develop each piece of found paper throughout the entire game as a different independent item in your coding your
so it would just
circle.
be a big mess to try to do that.
It would be a huge undertaking, massive, because there's how many found items? We had hundreds. And so in order to make sure that all the notes were done on time and that everybody got what they needed to get to understand roughly what they were doing in the story, you'd have your piece of paper, your graphic was your blank palette, and then you could just interchange as a layer all of the text.
So
over
could
the top
text
of it.
So could the text be changed?
The text can be changed in the sense that you can type it out and link it
up. And
it
can be different words, but
it can't be
one with the paper.
It's organically part of it.
Organically part of the paper.
Well,
that would have to be its own independent.
So that was just something you had to kind of just deal with.
That's just an example of those little small things start to add up after a while, and you're just kind of I didn't expect any of this.
I'm very curious to hear how you feel about games in general now, because is this the first time you've really dug into the behind the scenes of the development of a game so personally and so firsthand?
Development, yes, but I've been feeling this way for a long time, even before any of the Daylight stuff, because you're in this industry long enough, you start to become friends with the people that are the developers or the publishers, and and as friends you get a little bit of the inside scoop sometimes, and I quickly came to realize after about 4 years, they're putting in so many hours and working so hard, and even if, and their names are attached to it, so that's nerve-wracking too. It's not like they're just, games come out of the ether, pooped out by unicorns. Your names are on, and if you are attached to this game, is that going to affect you if you get hired at this other studio later on once this game is finished? Because once this game is finished, you're probably not going to be at that studio much longer, so you're back on the street trying to get another studio to pick you up. So there's tons of stress and effort that's involved in this. And for me, as a simple reviewer, which there's no college that I'm aware of that teaches you how to do gaming journalism, so it's just a lot of people that play games and leave their opinions, which is totally fine, but spare me the journalistic integrity bullshit.
Sure.
So, there's a few places that I think are really awesome. Polygon does a really good job with their articles. Game Informer is absolutely phenomenal. They're out there. But for the most part, it's kind of just any Joe Schmo off the street. And that included me when I started. So I get it. But what gives me the right to then sit there and shit on somebody else's parade?
Right.
So from a consumer standpoint, if somebody asks me, did you have fun playing the game? I'll say yes or no and why. But if they ask me to review the game, which I've never reviewed a game for a website officially in my life, if they ask me to give a game review or a game score, no. Not gonna happen.
Wow. Okay. So you don't.
I'm very passionate about this.
That's
because
great.
Now I have friends on both sides, so I see both sides of the story.
Sure.
And then from the general public, I see the reactions based off that and how that tide ebbs and flows.
How it can sway the sales.
And it's just like. No.
This is kind of dangerous territory because I feel like once you start to attack the general idea of opinions on the internet.
Well, opinions are fine. I don't think opinions are a problem.
Right.
So everybody has their opinion.
You'll give your opinion whenever asked.
Yeah, like anybody on the street. What's your opinion about this game? Well, this is why I liked it. This is why. But I won't ever give a review,
like an official review.
Like I give this a 3.5 because you should waste, or not waste your money on this because of this. If somebody just asks me, "Hey, Jess, did you like it?" Yeah, I liked it. Why? Oh, because of this. Would you recommend it? Totally, or not? But that's completely my personal opinion versus a professional opinion.
Because a professional review gives the idea of like, this is what it is.
Yeah.
It's not just that person's opinion. It's, this is the blanket factual, this is the opinion of the game.
This is why you should or
shouldn't
opinion. Like it versus mine, which is these are the experiences and feelings I got off it, which caused me to like it.
Interesting. I like this perspective.
I mean, it's a very thin line. It's a very thin line, and it's one that I often find myself struggling with during discussions like this because I do feel very passionately about it, but I totally get the other side of it too, where it's like this, like
it's a lot of work.
You're making a product, it should be up to par. Like
Sure.
I'm spending $60 a pop. Like that's the other side that I understand. This is where my mind starts playing devil's advocate with itself. Is like. You're blowing $60 a pop on a game.
Yeah.
You're spending $600 up for the console itself. Not to mention, probably the internet that you need to connect to,
and accessories,
and all that other jazz. This is not a poor man's.
No.
It's not a poor man's hobby.
No.
And so I completely get it then. From that side of things, where people are like, well, I spent all this money. I feel like I'm entitled to a quality product, but I can't tell if that product's quality or not until I play it, and then I can't get my money back off of it. And so it's like this weird tangled web where I've just been like, fuck y'all. I just host a show, and that's all I do.
So this is actually pretty great. I feel like I'm learning a lot from you because I feel like we review movies on this channel, and it's a very, very it's a walking on eggshells kind of situation because I'm not a professional movie reviewer by any means. I'm just a fan of the movies. Just like you'd say.
We're happy to give our opinions, and when we do reviews, there's always at least two of us, and we each give our own scores, so our scores are different. But yeah, I mean, in giving a score, that in and of itself is putting out this is the opinion that maybe you should have, as opposed to this is just my opinion.
Do you get any flack for it though, that you won't go any deeper into like why or not you liked something? Or
sometimes. I mean, I used to, but not. I actually have to remind people I'm not a reviewer. Like if I make a comment about something and it's just a little aside and they get all but hurt about it for whatever reason because they disagree or don't disagree or whatever, a lot of the argument I see in response to any of my comments is like, oh, really good gaming professional journalistic integrity there, Jess. And I'm like, hey, yo, smarty, I'm a host. I'm an entertainer.
Yeah.
I'm not a journalist. I didn't go to journalism school. Any articles I write are like blog style because I write a blog, but that doesn't make me a journalist.
Sure,
but I think a lot of people respect your opinion in that you've been in the gaming industry for as long as you have, so you carry a lot of cred in that respect.
Well, and not only that, I feel like...
And I am the first to admit, too, that I'm absolutely fucking biased at this point. Because I'm serious. Because I know a lot of people, and so I can't be completely unbiased in regards to my comments. So that's another reason why I've stepped away from leaving any kind of like professional gaming score on anything. Sure.
Wow, I love it. I really like that perspective because I think we kind of feel the same way. I've never said I'm a professional movie reviewer or a professional video game reviewer or even a journalist or even anything like that. But we spit out the news and we spit out our opinions about movies.
We play a lot of video games. We see a lot of movies, and then we offer our personal opinions based on what history we're bringing.
It's like an educated opinion versus a professional.
But then there's those people that are like, you are in the limelight. People are looking at you. People are looking to you for an answer. And it's your responsibility as someone who has the eyes and ears of a massive network or, a large viewership to represent, a different opinion than just like, I liked it or not, And I feel like that's where it starts to get kind of hard.
It's a little weird. It's a thin line.
Yeah. I'd like to think that people that watch any review I do take it about as seriously as they would if they asked their friend.
Yeah,
it's that level.
Bottom line.
It's games. They're supposed to be fun.
Sure.
Not like student theses.
Sure.
And
although there very well could be.
And
if that exists, that's fine. But those are those people, and this is who we are.
I feel that's the one common denomination for everyone is, did you have fun with it or not?
Yeah.
And if you did, then hey, if some people didn't think it was a very well-made game, but you had fun with it, who cares?
Yeah.
And I think
that's great. Like, I can just, what was that one game? Oh my God, it was terribly designed, but it was so much freaking fun.
Are you talking about Goat Simulator?
I actually have that loaded up on my Steam.
that's the best.
Have you started it yet?
Not yet.
It's on your
play it. It's the best.
You'll have a good time.
I was thinking Earth Defense Force 20.
Oh yeah, with the big bugs and stuff.
The first one, the very first one was absolute shit. The bugs start shaking because there'd be too many.
But when you play it with a friend,
it was
like,
fun.
And
it's like, hey, that's a great example.
And I think the bottom line is as a gamer, as a fan of movies, like I don't really tend to listen much to the people who consider themselves a critic or the people that consider themselves a professional reviewer. Because I like to listen to my friends when it comes to movies and video games. That's why I go to GameFAQs in their message boards when I want to read about like if a game was good or not. Or like I'll go to the IMDb boards maybe, or Reddit if I want to know if a movie was good or not, because those are actually real people.
Well, I have fun with my coworkers with that stuff, Like for New Movie Thing Show, we'll watch a movie together, and the times when we have completely opposing opinions on stuff are like my favorite discussion.
Well, that's why shows like this and other people that have shows coming out of their house or whatever, that's why this, like the YouTube and the Twitches and everything even exist, is because that's all that people are looking for. They want to look to people that are like their friends. I as well like really enjoy that. The thing that I look to as professional gaming journalists is for the deeper stories than just the game reviews, the Polygon stories about
like
where are they
Sessler,
now,
behind the scenesy stuff,
behind the scenesy stuff and things like that, ones that like give you the story about why something was created versus just it was created and here's what we think about it. I want to know. I'm looking to Game Informer and all those jazz for like a little, for the like editorial, like not necessarily opinion pieces, but like the story behind everything.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note that you can go to multiple places to get different.
You're not getting fucking ice cream, so don't you begin to wrap it up, finger.
Drew is wrapping up finger.
That truck has left the building.
We don't know that for sure.
We don't know, but we'll give it a shot. Drew, we'll cut you some slack and we'll end the episode.
For you guys, so I want to know what you guys think about reviews versus opinions, where that line is drawn, and what you as the viewer like to see. And thank you so much to Jessica.
Yay. And Jessica's game
for being
too.
with us. And we're playing Daylight. I will link to that in the description below if you guys want to check out that video. It's pretty scurry. Just saying.
Scurry.
It's pretty scurry. Well, the first time I played it was with Oculus Rift at Indiecade, and that blew my mind.
I make two recommendations. Play in the dark with headphones. The
sound.
That's what we do.
Is 90%.
There are so many times when I'm playing games like Daylight, like Outlast, where I just want to take the headphones and throw them across the room because That's the scary part. But seriously, Jessica, thank you so much. I'm so excited that you're here because you're such an inspiration.
Sorry, it got so like deep and philosophical.
No, please.
I'm like, yeah, that's great.
We love
Let
it.
me tell you about this. Blah blah blah.
Like,
No, it's always the best when we get a little deeper on the tabletop.
As a female in this industry, I love you. You are an inspiration, and I'm so happy to be sitting at this table here today.
Well, anytime you guys want to come to Nerdist and also invite me over for ice cream back today, I would be happy
Bring
to
the Ben and
go.
Jerry's truck.
We'll
for
see
sure.
what kind of treats you got at Nerdist. Let's see what you got over there.
We do have some sour straws. Those are pretty good.
Oh, sure. I'll have some sour straws.
Totally. Well, yeah,
All right.
guys, like this video, subscribe to this channel. You can click this annotation, and if you want to join in next time on the conversation, you can do that at Twitter via #TableTalk or on reddit.com/r/SourceFed. I'm Trisha Hirschberger.
I'm Jessica Chobot.
And I'm Steve Zaragoza.
E3!
Yay!
Happy E3, guys.
Happy E3.
Cheers with my Ben and Jerry's.